Afternoon, everybody. How fantastic to be here in the beautiful West Yorkshire sunshine. It's absolutely extraordinary. Lovely to see you. It must be the safest place in West Yorkshire here. Thank you all very much for coming along. And this is the beginning, the launch of a fantastic programme that we have in this government that we're very proud of to recruit a big new wave of police officers across our country. And I want to say a big thank you to all those here, all those who are signing up, and everything that you're going to do. And this is part, as you may know, of a big effort by this government to deliver on the priorities of the British people. And as you may have seen yesterday, I hope you saw it, there was a big announcement about more spending for the NHS, 20 new hospital upgrades on top of the 34 billion that we're putting in to the NHS of new money. We are levelling up education funding around the country so that all schools get an uplift, both primary and secondary schools. But in my view, policing safe streets is the absolute bedrock of society. It's what drives a successful and productive economy. It gives people the confidence to invest, to improve their neighbourhoods. Safe streets are absolutely vital for our country, and it is you in the police who are delivering safe streets. And I absolutely want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for what you do. I used to be Mayor of London, and I was effectively I was Police and Crime Commissioner for London, and I know the incredible work that the police do. And the most important thing I think politicians can do is back the police, give you the top cover for what you do, whether that's ensuring that you have the proper legal protections for important things like stop and search, or above all, making sure that you have the funding that you need. And this programme, as you know, is just the beginning, the first 6,000 of a programme to recruit 20,000 more police officers. And are you guys new recruits? Fantastic. Thank you very much for what you're doing. Thank you. And everybody's learning the caution. Do you know the caution? You know what you have to say when you collar someone? You do not have to say anything. Is that right? But anything you say. No, but if you fail to mention something which you later rely on, hang on, let's get this right. Can you remember it? They all know it. Which you later rely on in court, may be taken into account. Anyway, you get the gist. And it's part of the training of the police in a law-abiding country that we know people's rights and we give them their rights. And it's part of the trust between the public and the police. And it's absolutely vital that the public has that trust in the police. And I think the police in our country have a unique relationship with the public. It's quite unlike what you find in many other countries around the world. And I'm immensely proud of the way we do it and of our record in bringing crime down. And we want to go on, as I say, to recruit another 20,000 officers in this country. And I hope you think that that is the right thing to do. And yes, of course, I understand that crime is changing and crime is now a lot more online. But I think people in this country want to see police officers out on the streets, spreading that sense of reassurance, making sure that everyone in their neighbourhood feels safe and looked after, and we are going to insist on that. And this first push will cost, as Sajid Javid announced yesterday, £750 million for the first wave. There will be more to come. And I just want to make a quick point about spending money in this country, which is that there are some people who are now suggesting that we should spend £1 billion more a month, not £750 million, but £1 billion more a month to stay in the European Union beyond October the 31st. And I have to tell you, I don't think that would be a good use of public money. And I'm going to make sure that we don't have that unnecessary delay. And I'm going to do everything I possibly can to make sure that this country comes out of the EU on October the 31st. But unfortunately, Parliament voted yesterday effectively to scupper our negotiating power and to make it much more difficult for this government to get a deal. So what I want to do now is to really give the country a choice. We either go forward with our plan to get a deal, take the country out on October the 31st, which we can, or else somebody else should be allowed to see if they can keep us in beyond October the 31st. And I have to tell you, I don't think that would be the right way forward. And I think if people really think that this country should stay in the EU beyond October the 31st, then that really should be a matter for the people of this country to decide. Because at the moment, what Parliament is voting for, or Parliament voted for yesterday, was a system by which the EU itself would decide how much longer we had to remain in. And I, for the life of me, cannot think that is the right way forward. So all I can say, and I hate banging on about Brexit, I don't want to go on about this anymore, and I don't want an election at all. I don't want an election at all, but frankly, I cannot see any other way. The only way to get this thing done, to get this thing moving, is to make that decision. Do you want this government to take us out on October the 31st, or do you want Jeremy Corbyn and the Labour Party to go to that crucial summit in Brussels on October the 17th, effectively hand over control to the EU and keep us in beyond October the 30th. I think it's a no-brainer. I'm sorry to bring this painful subject up this afternoon, but that is the reality of what we face. And for me, there can be only one way forward for our country. I think what the people of this country want us to see is the government of this country focusing not on Brexit. That's been going on for 3 years. I think the people of this country want to see us focusing on their priorities and their needs. And I think they want to see people like you serving police officers, men and women, being allowed to get out on the streets and do your job. And they want to see a government that funds you properly and allows you to get on and do that and directs all their attention and all their concern on that priority. And I can tell you that is what I want to do. But we must settle this EU debate. We must come out of the EU on October the 31st, and then I want to get on and deliver all the priorities of the British people. And as I say, policing, making our streets safer, that comes first, and that is the top priority of this government. So thank you all very much for what you're doing. I'm sorry to have tested you on the caution and got it, and myself got it wrong. But you are going to go on, you guys have fantastic careers as police officers, and it's a wonderful, wonderful job. And I know that you will find it immensely rewarding. Thank you all very much for coming along this afternoon. I think I'm going to take some questions from the media.